I don't know about you, but I get extremely excited at the prospect of a very powerful cinema camera jammed into a mini little body. At $2,500, I sincerely think that this camera could put everybody else on notice. I think it could be the start of a new wave of micro cinema cameras, or it could just be a big empty promise. Today, we're going to discuss everything that the Vista is, but more importantly, everything the Vista is not. I have never owned a Kinefinity camera before. I've never talked about Kinefinity cameras before. So I was totally floored, shocked, when I got an email from Kinefinity asking if they could send me a prototype and get my opinion on it. So yeah, this is a prototype. This is not the full release version that will be sold to the public. What did Kinefinity send me? Let's check it out. Obviously, they sent me the Vista. This Vista has the Kine mount. This allows you to adapt both EF and PL adapters without actually having to change the mount. They sent me both the PL and EF adapters. They sent me some of the NPF batteries that power this little thing, these little red NPF batteries. They also sent me a USB-C charger, the 2-pin LEMO to USB-C cable, and a very nice electric screwdriver, which I haven't unboxed yet. I am calling this new generation of very tiny cameras micro cinema cameras, but Kinefinity calls it a personal cinema camera. Whatever it's called, it's alluring. I mean, look at it. Look at the size of this thing. It is, I don't have the measurements. Let me go measure it. Just a second. I got a tape measure here. 4 inches long by 3.5 inches tall by 2.5 inches deep. That's a tiny freaking camera. I mean, look at this thing. The mount is roughly the same height as the camera and almost the same width of the camera. It's basically a sensor block with a fan in the back. You'll also notice that it's absolutely riddled with 1/4-20 mounting points. We've got 2 on the top, 3 on the side, a bunch on the bottom, and then 3 more on the opposite side. We've got 2 doors for ports. The top one houses a CF Express Type B card, which can be used simultaneously as a backup recording with the integrated 256 gig SSD. That's right, 256 gig SSD built inside the camera. The bottom bay houses 2 full-size 4K HDMI ports, your headphone and mic jack, and a 2-pin LEMO for power. We've got a cold shoe on top. We've got 3 customizable buttons, 1, 2, and 3 in the back. On the back, we also have a knobby thing for navigating the menu, a menu button, and a joystick. On the back, you'll also find this incredible 4-inch OLED screen. Maybe the first of its kind, I'm not sure, but it's also in this very interesting 6x5 form factor. We'll get to that in a little bit. You'll notice that there are contacts on the top. The EF mount also is a locking EF, which I freaking love. So you'll see that there are contacts on the EF mount, which means that you can control the aperture through the camera. Turning on the camera can be a mixed bag. I've gotten anywhere from 3 to 10 seconds on boot up time. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 seconds. The menu is simple with just 4 tabs to scroll through, and you can do that with the touchscreen, the joystick, or the knobby thing. Your current project settings are here at the top. Again, touch accessible. Let's go through the 4 menu settings and everything that's in there. Recording. All of your project settings, like codecs, which this has H.265 and ProRes, more on that in a bit. Your image format, which contains full frame, Super 35, Micro Four Thirds, and Super 16 settings. Recording resolution, which there are a grip of different resolutions and aspect ratios to choose from. Anything from 6K open gate, which is 16 by 3984, all the way down to 4.6K 6 by 5. There are also features in the Vista that you would typically find on higher end cinema cameras, like custom frame rates and custom shutter. In monitoring, 4 different frame markers can be set. Framing for widescreen and vertical simultaneously is possible, and it's easy to see with the customizable colors and borders. In the current firmware version, I've got 2 exposure tools, zebras and waveform. Zebras are set to the normal IRE percentage, so not that weird Nikon version of zebras. This is just 0 through 100%. I think that's easier to understand. And the waveform and the zebra can both be set to the log image rather than the LUT. They can be set to the LUT, but I think it's far easier if you set it to the log, and I love that. I don't know about you, but I was stoked to see that anamorphic support is included in this camera. And every D-squeeze option you could want, including vertical anamorphic, aka vertiscope, is also offered in the Vista. The camera comes with custom LUT support, so you can import your custom LUTs, but also has 2 built-in Rec 709-ish viewing LUTs. In settings, you can save all of your settings to one of the 8 available preset slots, set your knob button control, and yes, you saw that correctly, END. We'll talk about this more in a bit. You can map your custom buttons plus the wheel button, and then finally in settings, you can adjust battery settings, like having the camera give you a 10-second timer and a power down warning if the battery's voltage gets too low. You can adjust the fan speed, and when the fan kicks on, you can black balance the camera, calibrate the level, set the date, time, and update the firmware. As you've probably heard me say on this channel before, I don't personally like doing comparisons. It's not really my thing. But being the unofficial ZR guy, it's no mystery that I'm being asked to compare these 2 cameras quite a bit right now. And I'll be honest, I think a comparison between these 2 is mostly a waste. They are vastly different cameras. Other than the fact that they shoot video, other than the fact that they are similarly priced, the Vista being $300 more, and the fact that they both have 4-inch screens, they really couldn't be any more different. Now, that being said, I don't think it would be a waste to see what the image looks like between the 2. All right, I'm gonna give you a quick explanation of what we're doing. It is an absolutely gorgeous day, so I thought, why not come up the canyon? We are going to be testing out, just purely image-wise, ZR and Vista. We'll be using the same lenses. The only thing that changes is the filter, because I don't have a way to rear VND these, the Vista. I do for the ZR, so you're gonna notice maybe probably color shifting.
was raised running moonshine. Never got caught, never did time. Cause the law couldn't catch me in a straight line. All roads, no maps, like the back of my hand. So catch me if you can. I got power in my hands.
It's important to note that on the ZR, I used the 12-bit R3D NE codec. On the Vista, the only codec I can shoot at the moment is an H.265. It's still 10-bit, it's still all I, And it's the max version. There's a max, like a middle, and a low one. I shot it at max. So the codecs are different. And then also, to get it as close as possible, I shot it in 16:9 on the ZR, because that's what it does. And I shot 17:9 on the Vista, because it doesn't have a 16:9 option that I've seen for 6K. We'll get to the open gate here in a bit.
I was born on a two-lane, sitting sideways in a Mustang. Put me in the dirt or on the highway if you're coming my way. I was raised in a shotgun, daddy running from the law cause he shot one. Now you know where I came from. All roads, no maps, like the back of my hand. So catch me if you can. I'll be coming round the bend. So catch me if you roses are red, your lights are blue. Got 6 in the chamber, 6 gears to move. Over the river, through the woods. My company's bad, but my aim is good. Catch me if you can. I'll be coming round the bend. Try if you want to. Catch me if you can. Why don't you give it a shot? I'm coming round the bend. Come on, better catch me if you can.
A very important thing to note. Right now, today being the 2nd, the Vista can only shoot in H.265. It has 3 different flavors of that, a low, a medium, and a max. I shot everything in max. I would be lying if I didn't say I don't love a RAW format more. I am not a person that gets everything right in the camera every single time. Having the ability to change white balance and ISO after the fact, whether it's for technical reasons or creative reasons, I can really appreciate that. I really wish this camera had a RAW format, but it doesn't. Also to note that this camera, when I talked to them at NAB, was slated to have a 12-bit 4444 format, but it's not going to. That being said, all of the H.265 and the ProRes will have 10-bit color, or it does have 10-bit color, and it's all I, so it's all intra. And again, I just want to say that even though it's just a 10-bit H.265, it looks really damn good. When it comes to workflow and using the files from the Kinefinity Vista, there are a few things that you need to know about. 2 things really. The first, none of the files work in Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro yet. They only work in DaVinci Resolve. And the file structure is eerily similar to Red. What you're gonna see is a folder system, a lot like Red. When you click on the folder, instead of actually having like a thumbnail and a file, right now, and I'm not sure if this is gonna be the case with the ProRes file, something tells me it's not, you have 6 different files that make up that folder, or the clip that you shot. So each clip consists of 6 different files. That is some unknown file, 2 sound files that, remember, don't have sound yet. You have the slate, which is all the slate info from that clip. You have the MOV clip, there's no thumbnail there, and then the LUT that you used when you shot the clip. Now here's one thing I can't undersell. The difference in the size of file between those 2 is huge. As far as the ProRes goes, we're getting HQ, LT, and the regular 422. The Vista was made to suit a very specific set of needs from a very different customer from the ZR. Let's go through those differences. First of all, the big one, the Vista will not be getting autofocus. It does not have autofocus, and from what we were told, it will not be getting autofocus in this model version. It also doesn't have IBIS. It has gyro, but it doesn't have IBIS. This has very good IBIS. It does not have 32-bit float, nor does it have a smart shoe. It's got a cold shoe. This has a smart shoe. The Kinefinity Vista to me feels like a very tiny, traditional box-style cinema camera that is meant to be rigged up in all sorts of fun and unique creative ways with a very efficient codec. It is geared more towards the cinematographer than the content creator. Probably the most important bit of information that I can give you if you're thinking about buying the Kinefinity Vista in terms of what it is not, is it's not ready. Let me first start this section by saying I'm extremely grateful I got an early prototype to test. I'm also extremely grateful for the very raw, behind the scenes look at what it takes to ship and create a camera. The amount of boxes that have to be checked is pretty wild. I will also say Kinefinity has been exceptional in taking our feedback and implementing new updates as fast as they possibly can. To those that received the camera early, got it on the 27th, everybody got it on the 27th. It is now the 2nd. We've already had 5 updates. The 5th one came yesterday or this morning. I can't remember. Within those updates, there are 2 parts to that. One are updates that are additional features that were already planned. The second part is the feedback that we've given them to help fix bugs or improve usability. For instance, when you turned the camera off, up till today, this is what this latest update fixed. When you turned the camera off, it forgot all of your settings. So when you turned it back on, you had to spend all of the time going back through the camera and adjusting those settings, like monitor brightness, your center marker, rule of thirds, everything would get forgotten. So that's a huge one. One of the other frustrating aspects when we first got the camera is it has internal storage and we could record to it, but we can't take the files off of the internal storage. And so when you turn the camera off and you turn it back on, it would go to the internal storage by default. Sometimes you would forget. So you would record a clip and then it would dawn on you, crap, I've been on the internal this whole time and I can't get those files. And if you were shooting something that was a fleeting moment, like you're out of luck. Thankfully, they updated it so that the CF Express Type B is the default SSD that you're recording to. So there's less likelihood of you making that mistake. So thank you, Kinefinity. But there are some very basic features that are in this camera that I simply do not have access to. And it has made for one of the most frustrating, interesting, test my resolve and patience experiences when it comes to testing a camera that I've ever been involved with. For instance, all of those great exposure tools that it has, I can't view those. I can like turn on the tool, but there's no information there. Things to help you find and nail focus, like focus peaking and zoom to focus, focus magnification, those are also not offered.
And for me, I have no idea what the exposure is because there's not a single tool to tell me. I can't even see if the if it's in focus.
So every single clip of footage that I have shown you has been a total crapshoot as to whether or not it was exposed properly or it's in focus. Oh, and none of those clips that we do capture have sound because the sound doesn't work yet. The gyro to stabilize the footage, because this has gyro, is also not available to us. The the viewing LUTs that are on here, this is a bug that's going to be fixed. Somehow we're being baked into the image. So the majority of the clips that I've shot weren't in log. I thought I was just shooting in log but using a viewing LUT, and instead, like that Rec 709, got baked into the image. So for many of those clips, you didn't even see its full potential. For those of us that received the camera early, we are getting wildly different results in run times and record times. For instance, Kofi, on one end of the spectrum, Kofi got a little over 3 hours of record time on a single NPF battery. On the opposite end of the spectrum, that was me. Something like 30-ish minutes. Now here's where it gets crazy. These NPF batteries do not communicate the same way a normal battery does to your camera. Your normal camera battery can communicate in such a way that you can get a time left on the battery. These only communicate voltage to the camera. And the camera right now is not doing a great job at giving us an accurate representation of what that voltage is. And so the percentage is off. When I first started recording, I dropped from 100% to 50% in 30 minutes. Then I tried another recording that only lasted 10 minutes and dropped me to around 10%. Then from there, I recorded for an hour and 20 minutes and only dropped to 5%. And then from there, I just let the camera run on standby, in which it went about another hour before it shut off. So for us, one of the most frustrating bits of this is having a wholly unreliable way of knowing exactly how much battery we have left in these cameras. The potential is there. We can see that it can operate for a very long time off of one of these batteries. However, we can't count on it, and that is kind of frustrating. Yeah, I'm trying to record a clip, and nothing is actually working. Literally, as I'm about to start this rolling shutter test, the camera stopped working. Like, it won't record anymore. So I jimmy rigged this Action 6 to the back of the screen to see if that would capture it. I'm not sure if it will. I guess we'll see in post. In terms of other frustrating bugs that I have personally experienced, because not all of us are experiencing the same bugs, sometimes if I start recording, the recording just shuts off on its own. Sometimes the camera won't turn on. Yesterday, I had this issue. It just wouldn't turn on sometimes. Sometimes it won't turn off. And other times, the record button sticks, like the screen stops showing all of the information, and it just keeps recording, and it freezes in the recording situation. You have to turn the camera off, and when you do that, you lose that file. This camera is supposed to ship June 20th, and I'll be honest, I have no freaking clue how that's gonna happen. But at the rate that Kinefinity has been updating this camera, I am weirdly optimistic that they can do it. And to be honest, I really want them to do it. I really want this camera to succeed, because when it does work, this is genuinely one of the most fun cameras I have ever used for a myriad of reasons. The form factor is just amazing. I mean, look how freaking tiny this is. It's absolutely amazing. The camera and all of these mounting points means that you don't need a cage, and it's a breeze to hard mount to a car or to rig in a really cool place. Like, it just makes rigging and creating so much fun. Next, there's the image. It blows my mind that just a basic H.265 can look this good. It's got a ton of latitude. It's a pleasure to grade. Then there's this screen, My God, this screen is incredible. It's not as bright as I wish it would be. The ZR you can use in bright sunlight, no problem. It's that bright. This is only 800 nits. And so if you get direct sunlight, you're kind of SOL. However, if the sun is going down, it's dusk, this thing is more fun to look at than my phone. Like, there are so many shots that we got around blue hour that I could nail focus on and exposure because this screen is so freaking good. Like, this screen's quality blows the ZR's screen's quality out of the water except for brightness. Everything else, this screen dominates. Plus, there's the END. I mentioned that earlier. That's right. Kinefinity has a END solution for both PL and EF. I mean, that is huge. That is absolutely huge to have an END solution in a tiny little box camera like this. And that's right now, right? That is right now. That is what we have available right now at our fingertips. This being 6/2, Tuesday. Like, if Kinefinity can figure out a way to ship this camera with all of the updates that's supposed to be coming by the 20th, and the camera is stable, I meant when I said this camera kind of puts everybody else on notice. I think every other camera brand, if they're looking to make a cinema camera in the mid-tier price range, this becomes the thing they need to emulate. Form factor, screen size, image quality, and just how freaking fun it is. So yeah, I really want this thing to succeed because I think it'll be a trendsetter. But it's a big if. In terms of what's going to come next from me about this camera, well, I'm going to do a live stream answering all of the questions you sent me. I put up on Instagram and on the YouTube post section, what questions do you have for me? I'm not ignoring those. I wanted to save those for a big video. This was not a review. This was really just like an introduction, but a thorough one at that. In that live stream, all of those technical questions that you had, I'll be answering. Also, I'll be doing a follow-up video on the 20th. We're getting a huge update on the 20th when it ships. I'll be releasing a video along with those updates. If you enjoyed the video, if you thought it was entertaining or insightful, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button. And make sure you subscribe and hit the alarm bell so that those videos that are coming out, like the live stream tomorrow, you'll be notified of when those drop. But thanks again for watching. Thank you so much, Kinefinity, for letting me be a part of this. I have no idea whether or not I get to keep the camera. I really want to. Maybe I'll just hold on to it. But because they sent it to me and I don't know, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that this was sponsored. This was a sponsored video. They didn't pay me, but they sent me the camera. I don't know if I get to keep it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Catch me if